Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to this latest webcast that we're bringing you from Travel Weekly and Aspire as part of our Roadmap to Recovery series. I'm joined today by Jo Rzymowska from Celebrity Cruises, and a very exciting week for you, Jo, because just this week we heard, we were watching the reveal of your next ship, Celebrity Beyond. Now, this is part of the Edge series, but she's going to be different. You've made some improvements, made her a little bit bigger, a bit taller. So just tell us a little bit about it and why she's going to be so special.
Yeah, thanks, Lucy. Great to see you again. It is, and it's lovely to be talking about positive and the future, right? Positive steps that are happening. So we're delighted that we've announced the third in the Edge series, Celebrity Beyond. I mean, little snippet, the second one was going to be called Celebrity Beyond, but when Lisa then said, no, I've got some changes that are happening to the third one there, and the name will be more appropriate for Beyond. So we call the second one Celebrity Apex, as we say, we found the edge, we reached the apex, and now we journey to beyond. And the reason it's called Beyond is because, yes, you're right, she's slightly longer and she's got one more extra deck. And that's really based on the feedback that we've had, and we're just able to make sure that we can extend our wonderful retreat area, extend our resort deck area, and interestingly enough, because this is all planned, of course, pre the dreaded COVID, have a lot more outdoor spaces. So
I know. Well, that's fortuitous, isn't it? All right. Well, I'd like to talk, if you've got time, Jo, about all the different sort of the changes and the new areas. But if we can start with the retreat, because obviously that's such an important part, and it is going to be extended. This is the area for your very luxury guests. It's the area that was designed by Kelly Hoppen, of course. So what's going to be the same? What's going to be different?
Great, yes, thanks. Well, the retreat area is really the big difference. So we just simply didn't have enough suites. Isn't that a wonderful problem to have? The Edge series absolutely, sells from the top down. As we know, very often, historically, a lot of ships sell from the bottom up, but the great joy of Edge series is that she sells from the top down. And we needed more suites. So we have put another 22 suites into the retreat area. But even more importantly, we've given our suite guests in the retreat more space. So the retreat lounge is larger, the retreat Luminae restaurant is larger. It's also on deck 15, as opposed to on deck 12, where it is for Edge and Apex. So it's right at the fore of the ship with that wonderful views as well. And it's 2 floors. So extended pool area, 2 floors of the retreat area, their own jacuzzi pools, and hot off the press, they are no longer called butlers. They are now your personal retreat host. So each of our suites will have their own personal retreat host to look after them as well.
Brilliant. Okay. Now, on the deck, then, I know Kelly's talked about having created these sort of intimate Zen areas, I think she called them. So there's just more little places, are there, to go and sort of hide away and just have some privacy, which again plays into what you were saying with COVID. But people do want a little bit more space and some time on their own.
Absolutely. So Kelly is all very much about those wonderful colours, the splash, the taupe colours with a splash of colour, and very much making sure that people have their own privacy and their own space. So, and the other thing was covering as well, because one of the feedback that we had is that people wanted more cover, predominantly from the sun. So there's a lot more cover and shade for our guests to enjoy as well within the retreat area. So it really is like a ship within a ship experience. That said, of course, they have the run of the rest of the ship as well.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's come on to that. But just before we do, I just want to talk about Luminae, because I'm very fortunate because I've eaten in Luminae on Edge. But now Kelly said that you could go there one night and sit somewhere, and then actually you could go another night and feel like you're in a totally different restaurant, because she's designed it so that, I think she said every corner of space is a new experience in itself. So explain what she meant by that.
Well, just by the way in which she's actually planned the seating and the lighting and the experiences themselves. So the restaurant sort of flows in a way that each evening you could choose a different table. Most of them have got a great, either by the windows, you've got a great view of the sea, or that wherever you are in the restaurant, you're able to really get that feeling of that the light and of the sea as well. So it's just her incredible way in which she does spaces and light and colouring. And also the lighting itself. She puts a lot of focus on her lighting, which is great.
Okay, well, it sounds amazing. And actually, the theme of, that open space and bringing the outside in was always, at the heart of the design of this class of ship. And I think that's been continued and in fact extended, hasn't it? In the up on the rooftop bar and terrace, and also on the main sort of resort deck. So can you just talk to us about the changes there?
So the aim always of Edge series is that pretty much wherever you are on the ship, hopefully you'll feel as though you're very connected to the sea. So the resort deck, again, that's an expanded area. So the difference with Edge series with Beyond versus Edge and Apex is that Tom Wright and Kelly have worked very closely together. So from his architectural point of view, so the resort deck as a point in case. So it's his design, but very much with her aesthetics and interior design. So wherever you are on the resort deck, you're either facing the pool or facing out to the sea. And the other great thing, especially that I love being a real swimmer, is that pool you can do proper lengths in, and that is a real joy.
It looks massive. Okay. Yeah. But you've still got that incredible view, have you? Where you can just literally look out to the ocean.
Absolutely. And the cabanas now, remember that we have the cabanas. So the cabanas now facing in, looking at the pool, but you can either see the pool or you can see the ocean area, which then looks out onto the magic carpet.
Okay. And I know we're getting into specifics, but I think, people selling this ship will need, they'll want to know the differences. But up on the rooftop garden, I think there was something you talked about, how you designed it now to sort of really make sure the wind, because it's up high, isn't it? And I think you've made some changes so that you've really sheltered up right at the top there.
Yes, that's been one of the key changes in all of the outdoor spaces. So really making sure that the covers, they look beautiful, they're not overbearing, but they're actually very, very helpful, either from sun protection or from wind protection, or God forbid, if there's some rain as well, when we're sailing. So it therefore means that our guests are all far more comfortable, whether they're eating out, obviously whether they're sunbathing, whether they choose to be in the sun or not be in the sun. And there's, again, just a lot more space and a lot more private areas as well throughout. Same as the sunset bar has had a significant change.
I was going to ask if we could come on to bars.
Sorry, yes,
not that I'm, focusing on but the sunset bar I love, and of course where Jo, we spent a lot of time under that amazing chandelier in the main atrium. So and there's been changes for both of those. So talk to us about the sunset bar first.
So the sunset bar has been designed by Nate Burkus. So Nate Burkus, great friend of Kelly's, and he and his partner, they run an incredible business, and he's designed the sunset bar for us. Again, it's over 2 decks, again with covering throughout, and a real sort of Moroccan feel to the bar area. And again, the sunset is, there's no better place, of course, to see the sunset from the sunset bar. And again, it's so popular that we said, right, we need to extend it. And with the way in which it's done it, it's really quite clubby.
Terracing or something.
Terracing, yeah, exactly that. So you walk just as the ship does, as it does as well with a jogging deck, that it covers 2 or 3 different decks. So that, I think, is going to be great. And then the heart of the ship, as I call it, the Grand Plaza, which has been designed by Joan Mancoux. And, the challenge that we had with the Grand Plaza is the bar just wasn't big enough. Funny that. So by extending the ship by about 20 meters, it means that we've been able to really extend the Grand Plaza. We've got all the wonderful restaurants around it. So it's a bit like an Italian piazza. And then this incredible chandelier, which does the light show at night. But now the martini bar is all the way around. So far more space for the martini bar. No ice on the martini bar. We're saving that for our solstice class ships, but still great martinis.
All right. Okay. I feel like we could go on and talk about every single aspect of this ship, but I do want to move on to talk about your partnerships, because, you've partnered with all these fantastic architects, designers. That's been, an absolute theme of for Celebrity, but you've now partnered with Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, obviously, we know her as a Hollywood actress, but she also has this fantastic company, Goop, and I know you're going to be putting her products in your aqua suites as well.
Yeah.
So just tell us about, she's got a role with you now, hasn't she?
She has, yes. And I can't tell you everything because we're yet to reveal the whole of the wellness. You know what we're like? We like to do, we're yet to reveal our whole wellness proposition and our culinary proposition and other things as well. But suffice to say, we do have now 20 aqua class suites on board in the retreat. That is new. You're right, we will have the Goop products in each of those suites, and Gwyneth is going to be our wellness ambassador. She is going to be on board Beyond in 22, and lots more to come about how we're partnering with her Goop Foundation overall. But we're really excited about that. She's going to be a great ambassador for us.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll wait to hear more about that when you can tell us. But let's just talk then about the luxury customer then, Jo, because all these things, these partnerships, whether it's about well-being, culinary, extra space, because people want to just, get away from it all. I mean, this does all play in to the luxury customer, doesn't it? And what, perhaps you could just tell us a little bit more about, who you're targeting and how you're doing it.
Sure, thanks, Lucy. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, luxury comes in lots of different forms, but from our point of view, we're very much now, we've done a lot of work in that. I think I've spoken to you before. We've worked with Piers Schmidt, who's a luxury guru in the sector, and he's really helped us think through where we're at and where we're going to. And, one of the misconceptions that anybody who's got a larger property, be it land-based or at sea, has to overcome is that a lot of people think luxury only means small. And of course, there's wonderful luxury with small boutique hotels and smaller ships. Our own sister brand, Silversea, the ultimate in ultra luxury experiences. But from our point of view, we are a larger luxury property. And therefore, we've been really working with him and all these wonderful designers as well in looking at how do we really get that across to the right customer. And from our point of view, it's working with the right trade partners. So we've got a lot of great trade partners here, but we also now, through Johnny Pete and Emma Rigby and with Claire's team, are really working through more of the luxury partners, talking to them, understanding what's important to them. And there were 2 or 3 things that they said to us. One is how they talk to us and get hold of us when they're liaising with these luxury guests who are booking the iconic suite at 30, 40, 30,000 pounds for a week. We've made sure that we've built them a dedicated concierge team in the contact center so they can get through to them straight away. They can talk to them straight away. They also spoke to us about the marketing material that we use and the kind of thing that was really important to them. So we've worked with them to produce some really high-end luxury collateral. We've done some work on the kind of imagery that's important, the messaging that is important. Less is more is a big thing that came out. Don't throw the kitchen sink at us, just really be focused, and less is more. And we're getting great feedback on them. We're providing them with that. So for example, Beyond, they now will have a digital selling guide that they can use all of that collateral straight out to their clients. And that's what they're loving as well. So, it's really understanding the psyche of what we call the new luxury and the Gen Xer. And we are targeting the Gen Xer. They are the affluent, they are the ones for the decision makers. They're now in their 40s, their 50s, not like me, an old bird heading into her 60s. Whilst we say it's more about attitude, and it is not about attitude than age, but the reality is to future-proof the organisation based on everything that we're doing and the way in which we're designing our ships, the kind of offering that we're giving on board in entertainment, in design, in culinary, is absolutely spot on for the affluent Gen Xer and those who truly appreciate the finer things in life. And they're less interested in price. Price isn't irrelevant, but it's by no means the most important thing. And everything we're doing is about how we make people feel. And when they leave us, they will just leave feeling absolutely like a king or a queen. And that's how we want to make them feel, in a chilled, relaxed way. So we're very clear who we're targeting.
And has that person, or has that changed at all, given what we've been through in the last year? I mean, because you were on this journey, weren't you, already, and working with peers, and you were, and obviously this Edge series has, been going for a number of years now. So have you had to tweak it at all, given the pandemic?
What we're seeing is in targeting this audience is actually everybody now just wants to make sure that they are getting the best. So, for example, the Iconic Suite and the Penthouse Suite sold out last night.
Oh,
so
you
they
went on
sold
sale last night,
from Southampton. The 2 Iconics, the Penthouse, sold out literally overnight. So listen, so many people have lost and missed so many great, wonderful occasions, wonderful celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, and boy, oh boy, do they want to have the holiday of a lifetime. And absolutely what we're seeing is that holidays is what people, discretionary spend is really important to this affluent audience. And we know that Celebrity Beyond, the Edge series, Celebrity as a brand, it does appeal to a great number of those people. So without a doubt, we are seeing, as I said, things moving from the top down. Same on Silhouette for our British summer sailings. Exactly the same there.
Okay. So with that in mind, Jo, like if we are going to find more people wanting to splash out and, you know, make up for this lost time, if you're an agent that, you know, Johnny hasn't got round to yet, but would like to get this special marketing material, have access to this amazing bureau that they can get through to, what would they do? They just need to contact you and say, look, I've got the kind of customers that might be interested in a celebrity sailing.
Absolutely. And just to emphasize it, we obviously work, you know, the whole of the sales team with Claire and Nick and all of the sales team, we work across all of our trade partners, and we work with all of them in looking at how we're targeting their databases. So this isn't just exclusive. What I'm saying is we learned a lot by talking to a lot of the high luxury travel partners who really offer this concierge service to their customers today, who literally are, you know, they might have customers who spend 100, 150,000 pounds with them a year, like a lot of the Aspire partners, and we've learned a lot from them. And we're adapting that, and absolutely, we are an accessible organisation. So any partners out there who want to understand more from us about the work that we're doing, how we're targeting, the tools that we can provide them, without a doubt, if they're not already talking to us, please do. And our Celebrity Central site has got an awful lot of all of this content on board. All of the assets for Beyond were literally put on board on Celebrity Central last night.
All right, and I know this might seem like a strange question, but if you were to call through to this special, you know, you said you've set up this special, and people might be spending, as you say, £30,000 to be in a suite for a week. Yeah. What kind of things do they typically, would a customer like that, are they just making restaurant reservations and asking about specialist excursions, right, or what kind of thing could they talk to this desk about to make sure they get that perfect holiday for their client?
Absolutely anything and everything. If it's legal, we'll sort it. Simple as that. Simple as that.
So it really is like a concierge, a bespoke service that you can make sure that you're, because you might have fairly sort of demanding clients that know what they like, right, and had, you know, right, that kind of experience, right, on land, and you can create that for them.
I mean, at the end of the day, listen, everybody has a wonderful holiday and everybody gets a great service. But if somebody's spending £2,000 versus £30,000, they should expect more. That's life.
That's fine. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Now you mentioned that you've sold these, you know, the Penthouse Suite and the Iconic Suite overnight. Of course, you went on sale last night, and you mentioned it was Southampton. So we must just focus on that, because this is truly exciting for our market, because Beyond is going in about a year's time. It's about a year, you know, from now. We're going to have her here doing her maiden voyage. So tell us about that.
So absolutely, isn't it exciting? Literally a year from now, this week. So her first maiden voyage will be on April the 27th from Southampton to Barcelona. It's a fab itinerary. I'm definitely going to be on it. So Lucy, I hope you'll join me. And then we are obviously hoping to showcase her beforehand, all things being equal. I constantly now caveat in life with hopefully, you know, but let's hope so. Let's hope so. So isn't that great? Because of course, our wonderful celebrity, her sister, Celebrity Apex, sadly, we had everything planned here, but things, the pandemic had different ideas for us. So while she's in Greece, we will be looking forward to welcoming Beyond in next year. And and it's going to be here in the UK, and that speaks volumes as to how important the UK market is for us.
Gosh, absolutely. And you said you're going, I mean, I know you can't say for definite, but your plan would be to showcase her. So this would be an opportunity for agents to see her before she heads down to Barcelona.
Correct. That's our plan, and we are working on it, and there'll be you know, lots of great ways in which our agent partners can earn their place on board that hopeful showcase.
Right, well,
Definitely.
that sounds fantastic. And then before we let you go, Jo, you also mentioned the UK sailings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, everyone's focused on that a little bit at the minute, aren't they? Because it's an opportunity for agents to earn now, get their customers away. You know, I
Yes.
know everyone's got these fantastic forward bookings, which are also important, but at the moment it's kind of critical that we make, you know, get agents are making some money. So how are the sales going for that?
Listen, good overall, without a doubt. You know, we know that demand's going to outstrip supply from a UK holiday point of view this year, because, you know, I think international travel, we're definitely going to get there, but it is going to be more erratic, and people want some surety. So what we're finding is that people are definitely booking. Hopefully they'll book an international trip as well, as and when we know more. Our trade partners are being phenomenal in getting behind it. We're just kicking off with a TV campaign starting on May the 1st. So we're investing
Under
quite
your
a lot.
someday, the someday.
Someday is here. Someday
Brilliant.
is here.
Yeah.
Finally. So we're on radio, we're on TV, we've got lots of social assets, digital, and you know that we know that drives demand, right? So kicking off May the 1st, our TV, quite heavyweight TV campaign starts for Someday is Here, and enjoy Celebrity Silhouette sailing out of Southampton.
Yeah, and you know, we obviously, everyone's doing it because it's the opportunity, the thing that's available at the minute, and and that's great. But obviously, all the lines have said, well, it's also a great opportunity to sort of showcase cruising to non-cruisers. So,
Absolutely.
have you had some bookings so far from people who've never thought about cruising before?
Absolutely. No, we are definitely finding that it's not clearly our cruise community and our loyalty guests jumped on it straight away. But without a doubt now, more and more, it's as we talk to trade partners in their targeting, as we talk to consumers directly as well, and in the marketing that we're doing, we are definitely getting people who haven't cruised before, without a doubt.
Well, that, let's hope that is a one silver lining, because the more we can spread the word about how great it is, the better. So look, we wish you all the best with that. We're very
Thank
excited
you.
about Beyond. She
Thank
sounds
you.
fantastic, and we can't wait to see her in Southampton. So thank you very much for talking to us, Jo.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Thank you.